Hey everyone, MTashed here, and today I want to talk about how Cacus, Amateur, and myself nuked the final boss in the 980 Nightfall and cheesed it with the 1-2 punch Peregrine Greaves combo. Now, this is something that got nerfed, or not nerfed, it got disabled for the raid because it was probably a little too strong. It probably is too strong, but when pairing Peregrine Greaves and the 1-2 punch, you like triple the damage on it and you can absolutely devastate any enemy. And so the idea behind this combo is you run up, you jump in the air, shotgun the enemy quickly, and then immediately press the melee button to combo into the Peregrine Greaves Peregrine Strike. And what ends up happening is you just nuke enemies like the Barrier Knights or the Unstoppable Ogres, or even better, the final boss. Now, if you have 3 people running this and you all attack the boss at the same time, as long as you have some sort of debuff, like a weakening grenade, you can typically one-bang the boss. You can also use something like a tractor cannon, set it up, everyone runs in and nukes the boss, but you can essentially two-phase the boss, even if you mess up, but if you perfectly land all your hits and everyone's the right power level, you'll actually one-phase the boss. You'll insta-kill it. So I'm going to show you a little bit of footage, but I'm going to show you quickly like the setup. So what you're going to do is you're going to put strength mods on everything. You want to get strength mods on absolutely every piece of gear. Reason why, or impact mods, whatever you want to call it, the reason why is you want to get that cooldown as high as you can. Now, I don't have the best strength gear, but if you can get this maxed out, you can just keep shoulder charging everything and nuking every single enemy, and you can actually get through the Nightfall very, very quickly. If there's a wizard, you shoulder charge, like you just one bang it, because they have solar shields, and so you get the solar shield break, you're on a solar subclass, and the wizards are dead, the barrier knights are dead, the ogres are dead, and you can do it every like 30 seconds if you have maxed out strength. I'm at 7. If I masterwork some stuff, I could get it a little higher, but that's a huge amount of power to have on your character. Now, you also need the Peregrine Greaves, as I said before, and a 1-2 punch shotgun. You need this perk right here. Hitting an enemy with every pellet in a shot increases melee damage for a short duration. You must have this perk on a shotgun. And there's multiple shotguns that can get it. The Emperor's Courtesy is probably one of the easiest ones to farm. So what you can do is you can do the Crown of Sorrows raid and hope to get this one. Apparently, it drops very high frequency from the bridge encounter. And so if you want to just like one bang the boss, you should probably farm for this thing. Now, another thing you can do is tractor cannon. So I'm just going to look at my collections really, really quickly. If you look in the power weapons here, I've got a tractor cannon. This thing boosts your damage. It's essentially a debuff on the target, and it boosts your damage. So you'll do 30% more damage with these Peregrine Strikes. So what you end up doing is the boss spawns, you hit it with a tractor cannon, and then everyone runs at the same time, and you nuke the boss in one hit. If you don't have a tractor cannon, or you don't want to use the tractor cannon, another great way to do this is you use the weakening grenades. So on your character, you need someone to use Oppressive Darkness or the Overload grenades, or whatever you want to call them, right? So you need a Void grenade to do it, and it will debuff the enemy. Now, that means one person has to go on Bottom Tree Sentinel. The Shield Bash does not do as much damage, and so you need to use that debuff if you want to get the kill. I think the easiest way to do this, if you want to just absolutely, for sure, do the most damage, is do the Sunbreaker. The Sunbreaker hits the hardest. You have a debuff here, so the first person hits, debuffs, and then the other 2 people have a buffed shoulder charge and will do even more damage. So let me just show you a little bit of footage and we can talk about it.
One shot killed me, Jesus Christ.
Holy
Go,
shit.
Dash! Yeah!
This one's going down. I'm gonna kill this one so
He's
freaking
like all
fast.
the way around the corner.
I'm coming to get you. You ready for this? I'm gonna come and knee you in
The
the...
smoke grenade didn't even stop.
He jumped off
Scared
it.
him, scared him.
He's too scared of the Tash man, baby.
Nice. That was a one hit. Next one's
Watch the
over here.
acolyte. Got it.
Got him. Nice. fuck?
Okay, so a couple things. Everything hits extremely hard, even if you're in the 960s, and if you're not in the 960s, you're going to have some trouble one-hitting it, but that's okay. I'm going to show you what we ended up doing to do it a little safer. So I run in, I get the damage off, and you can see that Cactus goes and gets his damage off too, and I'm going to whip around here. You're going to see the health bar. Look how much health bar this boss has. Like nothing. Like half, right? After just 2 shoulder charges. So even if you're a lower level, what you can do is you get the 2 shoulder charges off, and then you just wipe all the ads. Now, we're dying here. We're running into some problems, but you don't have to do it absolutely perfect and one-hit it. You can still do this. It's just going to be a bit of a stressful spot here. So you can see we're wiping. We have to start again, but you can get the boss low and then just survive 1 wave. All you have to do is survive 1 wave. Now, if you're looking at the timer, it's an hour. That's because we were testing stuff. We were sending people in and out, but you can probably do this in 30 minutes. If you're very high level, like 960, probably 45, I'm going to say, is the average. Now, that seems like a lot of time, but I mean, for the enhanced prisms and the amount of exotics you can get from this, you can get exotic like every other run, if not every run. Like, it's nuts. And when you nuke the boss like this, I mean, boys, this is a good thing. You want to get this done now so you can start getting these ascendant shards and masterworking your gear, which will give you even more cooldowns and more survivability, and it's just going to make it even easier. And the big thing is you get so many exotics from this. And if you get a good roll on one of the exotics you want to use, maybe the Peregrine Greaves, you're going to be that much more ahead. Now, getting through the Nightfall it's going to take some time because it's hard. Like, if you're playing like an idiot, you're going to die a lot. It's going to be pretty rough. So one other thing you can do, especially if you plan on doing this long term, is you can try to farm the Crown of Sorrows. And you look there, I just got a Hive Invigoration mod. Now, that mod is going to be a very good mod. There's multiple Hive mods that you can use that'll give you a very big boost in this. Mine gives me a grenade back every time I pop an enemy shield. And so you might want to consider farming stuff like the old Crown of Sorrows raid to get some of these very powerful mods. But you will need to slot it into an armor piece from the raid or from the menagerie. So if you go into the menagerie, you can actually get a Season of Opulence piece of gear. You can slot this mod in, or multiple mods if you want to get multiple armor pieces. And these Hive armaments, Hive Invigoration, it's going to be a great way to pound through this Nightfall. Because, I mean, efficiency is really important. Being able to one-bang the boss is amazing. It's awesome. It's really, really good. But if it's taking you forever to get to the final boss, that's going to be just wasting time that you could be getting a ton of these Ascendant Shards and Enhancement Prisms and Exotics. Because, I mean, with the very big variation in how high the stats can roll, you want to farm as many of these Exotics as you can. Because if you get the good one with like a 70 roll, brother, masterworking that shit, you need 3 Ascendant Shards. So you're going to have to farm this eventually, right? You're going to get the good exotics, hopefully, and then you're going to need a lot of these resources to just masterwork it. Now, before I go, I'm going to give you just a couple more quick tips. If you don't have 3 people with the Peregrines, with the 1-2 punch, you can still get this done with just 2 of them. You can even do it with just 1 of them if everyone lays in with like heavy and you're jumping in and doing it and kind of time it, because you're going to do a lot of damage by yourself, like a third of the health bar. The issue is the third phase, when the unstoppable ogres come, is very hard to deal with, like almost impossible to deal with. And so what you can do is, if you want to play it really safe, even though it's going to be hard, you can get the boss to 1/3, and then you nuke it with that last Titan. So if you only have one friend that has it, or you're the only Titan that has it on your, your friends list, you can still do it and avoid that last, almost impossible phase with the Peregrine Strike. So if you've got this combo and you're just by yourself, you can still do this. You can avoid a lot of the barrier champions throughout, especially if your strength level is high. But you can see there, one person, no buff, no nothing, did almost a third of the damage. And so if you can survive here and you're using something like a well and a bow and you kind of play it safe, you can kind of, whittle this boss down and beat it that way. But if you do 2, it's much, much easier. What you're going to do is you're going to get 2 people to strike it. It's going to get it to half health. And then all you need to do is survive 1 wave. pop your supers, throw down your heavy, throw down a bow, throw down a well. It doesn't matter what you do. But if you have just 2 titans, you can do this. You don't have to have all 3. It's not going to be an instant nuke, but you can still get this done, and it's going to be way more efficient and way more success than pretty much any other way. It is so hard because of those stupid ogres that I'm going to say that until we're like 970, it's borderline impossible unless you play it perfectly. Like, the average players will not be able to do it because the issue is if you bring all the tools to deal with the ogres, like the unstoppable rounds, you're missing out on damage to deal with all the other shit that's trying to kill you. We've tried to find the perfect loadout for this, and you're either missing elements, or you're missing good weapons, or you're missing a multitude of different things. And so if you want to get this done this week, and I mean any week, you don't have to do it this week even. There's multiple bosses you're going to be able to nuke like this. So definitely start farming for that shotgun with the 1-2 punch. If you've got a Titan, start farming for the Peregrine Greaves, and you can start getting some 980 Nightfalls very, very soon. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.